Hey guys, welcome back. And today we are just going to learn classes and objects in Dart language. So let's start. So for that, first we will create a main function again. So before starting, understand just understand what is class and objects. Like what is class actually. So for example, you can see here there is an image on my screen. It has vehicle. Okay, so vehicle is a class. So we have so many vehicles in the world, right? So vehicle is one class, and every vehicle has some different subclasses such as car, bus, truck, bike, which all of these falls in one category, one class, that is vehicle, named as vehicle. So we will this is the same this for creating such type of uh, implementation in programming. We have class and object concept. So let's see how it works and how we can use them in real life. So here it is, void main. We have created the main function. Now let's first create the class. So for creating the class, you have to write the class keyword just writing the class, and then followed by a class name, which should be started with a capital letter, such as vehicle. We had a vehicle class, right? So we will create a vehicle class, then followed by two curly braces, open and close. So yeah, we created the class here. Now whatever we will write in this vehicle class will be the attributes, or even the functions of this class. What are attributes? Attributes are nothing but qualities, or you can say identities, which represents the vehicle. Such as, for example, a vehicle has a wheel, it has some speed, it has some speed, it has some name. And these all things are attributes of this class, which represents the class. And there are some functions such as vehicle runs. Okay, car, for example, car runs. Okay, and aeroplane flies and boat swims. Okay, so this all different vehicle has different functions, right? So this there are two ways to this, all of these attributes function will be wrapped into this class. So let's give this class some attributes. So first we will give the class wheels. Okay, so for now let's give the car, that vehicle, uh, some wheels like four, and it has some speed. Let's give it a speed double, speed equal to, for example, 60 kilometer per hour. So for that I just writing 60 10. Okay, and yeah, so we have these two attributes of this vehicle class. Now let's understand how to access this class, how to create an object. So for creating this object of this class vehicle, we have to just write the name of the vehicle in the main class, in the main function vehicle, followed by new name of this object. For example, vehicle, I am creating a car, right? So car equal to new vehicle. So we are creating a new object. So we write written here new, and again the class name followed by parentheses for creating the object. Now we can create a car dot wheel. To access this attribute, the wheel, or the speed, we can just write car, which is the object name we created, followed by a dot operator. Then we can access the attributes of this class just by writing the variable name, attribute name, or any function name we can write here, and we will get access to that attribute. So yeah, so for now, example, my okay, for now let's replace this wheel to 0, and this 60.0 to 0. Okay, so now my wheel is 0 and I have speed 0. Now I have to change this wheel to number of car wheels which a car has. So I have car dot wheel. I have to change this wheel to 4. So now the car dot wheel, that means this wheel has value 4 for this car object, because I have made an instance of this vehicle class. Now car has this object car has the power to access this wheel attribute and change the values. So I give it a 4 value right now, and also I want to change the speed of this vehicle. So speed, car dot speed equal to, for example, I just want to give it 100 kilometers per hour, so I just written here 100. Then I want to just print both of the values. So right now I will just print car dot wheel. Okay, I will just write the sentence: car has dollar. So what is a dollar? Dollar is, we use dollar for you can say inserting some values into a string. We can't just add values to the string directly, so we use dollar here. Dollar car dot wheel. Okay, you can see that for we just interpolated this thing is called as interpolation. When we want to add some value into the string, so we just use dollar sign followed by this value we want to insert into a string. Okay, and the car has got this car dot wheels, that is 4 wheels, and its speed is dollar car dot speed. Okay, so let's run the program and see what happens here. Okay, I just missed a semicolon in the last. Let's rerun the program again. Yeah, so I we got the value. Car has 4 wheels. I just forgot to write wheel. Okay, let's rerun the program again. And yeah, car has 4 wheels and its speed is 100. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, so we just written we just add the created a car object with adding some key wheel values 4 and some speed value which is 100. This is the new object created car. So we can create one more object car, such as vehicle again, like for example bike equal to new vehicle. So we created a new object bike, and I want to give the bike wheels. So bike dot wheel equal to 2, and I want to give the bike speed equal to 60 kilo, how can say 80 kilometer per hour. Okay, so I want to just print the value again. So again, bike has, I will just copy this thing here because I have to just write it again, so I will not take that much effort. I will just replace this car by bike. So bike has bike dot wheel, and it has bike dot speed. Yes, so let's run the program and see what happens. Okay, I again forget the semicolon here. Okay, so yeah, the bike has 2 wheels and its speed is 80 kilometer per hour. So what we have done here, like we have created one more object bike, and we just assign some values to the wheel of the bike and speed of the bike as 80 and 280. So even it just used what we can now create multiple different objects such as bike, truck, bus, aeroplanes, whatever we want, how many times we want, we can create it just using this simple class values. So we can reuse the whole class again and again to create new object. So this is a simple example of this class. Now let's say we want to add some functionality to this class. So we will just go into the class and we will create a new functionality. Like I want to just create a functionality. So for example, now I don't want to print this value from here. Okay, I just don't want to print these values from here. I want to print the values from the class. I have to give the function to the class. So I will just okay, create a function void, because I have to write again and again print for each and every object I created. So I just removed it and I will just make a one function to do the repetitive tasks at once. So I will just create show data for vehicle. So I will just I created this, and now I will just print the same statement we created there. Print. Okay. Okay, so now I have to create a car type. So I have to take the value string type. So I will also take the type of vehicle we have. So I will just write here print dollar type has dollar wheel and its speed is dollar speed kilometer per hour. Okay, so we return here the function for representing the data of that object. So we will run here and see what happens here. So okay, we didn't call the function yet, so here we can just you can after instead of writing the print again, we can directly access the car object function of this class by just writing the car and dot operator and the function name. So we have the function show data, so we just access the function show data by just writing the object name dot operator and function name. Again for bike we can do the same, bike dot show data. Yeah, so we can just get the data from the class now and print. So yeah, so we got has four wheels, and okay, I just forgot to write the wheels here. Okay, so it has four wheels and its speed is 100 kilometer, has two wheels and its speed is 80 kilometer. But you would have noticed that that when I just call this function, it didn't print the type of this car. Okay, so the reason is that we didn't pass any value to this we didn't change this value type of this class. So we can do that again, like writing the car object dot type equal to a string called car. Okay, and for vehicle, for bike we can write it bike dot type equal to bike. Now we will just rerun the program and see what happens. So car has four wheels and its time speed is 100 kilometer. Bike has two wheels and it has speed is 80 kilometer per hour. So we change all the attributes value from create car this car dot type and car dot wheel method, which is a object dot operator, and the attribute values, assigning the different values to them, and then calling the function just by the same way, object name with followed by dot operator and the function name. So we can use that function for our purpose. So now we just created this simple class and object here. Now what if we don't have to write again and again this car dot type, car dot wheel, car dot speed again and again? So how we can just simply pass the values to the function? There is one more method which is called as constructor. which is used to initialize the all attributes at once where the function the class is you can say the object is created, so it will be called automatically. For example, let me show you the class. The constructor has the same value as the vehicle here. Okay, so you would have seen here that there is a vehicle here and it has some parentheses, right? So what is this parenthesis means? Actually, it's a function. Like you can see, it is a function, right? So function has this parenthesis, but what it is doing with the class? Okay, because we didn't return here any type of parenthesis here. So this is actually, it is a constructor which is by default, but we have not seen here. We have not written here. Let's write it vehicle, same constructor, and yeah. So this constructor is nothing but this constructor, this function like constructor is nothing but this vehicle here. So this is calling this constructor, which is now by default empty right now. So what we will be doing here, like we will just remove this whole values attribute change. We changed all the attributes, so we will just remove this whole values. Now we will write the same values here. First car, second you can say 4 wheels, and then first speed 100. Okay, so yeah, so we return same thing for bike comma 4 comma 100, also comma 2 comma you can say 70 for now. So we just, okay, so after doing that, we understand the vehicle has passed some values, car 4 and 100, similarly bike 270. So we should accept some values here, right? So for that we will just use int, sorry, first string for type comma int for will and double for double speed for speed. Okay, so we will just whatever value we will be passing here, we will get here by this variables mentioned in the constructor. Then we will just use this constructor to initialize all the attributes we have mentioned here in this class. So now we will just replace this uh, values by this keyword. Now what is this keyword means? This keyword means the class, whatever the class attribute are, like whatever the functions and class attributes are, they are accessed by this dot type. That is, this dot type means this class dot type. So what type it has, in where attribute it has is equal to new type. So we have this new type given here in the constructor, so it will replace the original type by the new type we got in the constructor. Similarly, this dot will, so the already the class have some will which is 0, so we have to just replace it by the new will we got from this constructor. So we just return the will value here, and again this dot speed equal to new speed which we got from the constructor. So now all the values here attributes are initialized. Now we can use this code to directly to call the constructor and give some values without again and again writing the car dot name, car dot wheel, car dot speed, and give them different values again and again. So let's run the program and see what it shows. Yeah, so car has 4 wheels, its speed is 100 kilometer, and bike has 2 wheels and its speed is 70 kilometer. So it's working fine. The same thing which we were doing by writing 4 to 5 lines of code, we have just written here by only 2 lines of codes to call the function, call the class, and access the function. Now we have just created this constructor. Okay, and this constructor is automatically called whenever the object is created. So when I created this object and followed by some values in the parentheses, it just called this constructor automatically. So this was vehicle, this was the class vehicle, and we created some objects for it. Now what if I want because I want, there is one more concept called inheritance in class. And in inheritance in class means, so you can see in this photo, like inheritance in vehicle there are more subclasses such as car, bus, truck, bike. So what if I want to create a separate classes for each type of car, each type of vehicle, and then use some values from the vehicle, main vehicle. For example, a vehicle has some general attributes like speed, wheel, and some, you can say, engine, and most of the things which are common for each and every vehicle. But some attributes are only you can say allowed only related to some particular vehicle, like car or for bike. So if we want to create that type of inheritance, what we use is we just make one more class. For example, I want to create a class called car. For car, I will car extend, because car extends something, car is from extending something from a vehicle. Okay, so this, what this means is car is a new class which extends vehicle is a parent class which is already we have mentioned here. So it extends this class, means it has all the you can say it can access all the values from this class and use it in its own um, class for its own purpose. And also it can use some different attributes which is mentioned in this class for doing some tasks. Okay, so the car, so we, for example, car have some brand name. Okay, this car has some brand name. For now, just we will remove type here, because we know we are creating now in individual classes for particular class, particular vehicle. So we don't have to mention type here again. So okay, so car extends vehicle. Now we have some one value which will be but related to only this car. Like for example, we have to give a car a brand name. Okay, so string brand equal to, for now it's empty, because the user will give the class name, right? When we create an object, then we will give the car a brand name. Now, and I want to use this. Okay, now also we have to create a constructor. Like similarly, we have just created a constructor in vehicle, we can also create a constructor in car int. So now the car also takes some values, like for brand name we will use this dot brand. Okay, so similarly, like we use here this dot wheel for changing the already mentioned wheel attribute to a new wheel value. So we can directly replace this int wheel here, written here, with this dot wheel, without we even have to write again the two times the values to replace it. So I am just writing the this dot brand here. This is another example of writing the same thing. So this dot brand and comma, I want to get int wheel comma double speed for this car. Okay, okay, so you can see there is some, you can say, error or some warning here. What it shows that the superclass vehicle does not have a zero argument constructor. Try declaring a zero argument constructor. So you can see that the car here, the, you can say, constructor here already accepting some values, wheel and double speed, right? But when we created this okay car, this extends vehicle, whenever this car construct, whenever this car object is created, it will not only, it will do two things. It will first go to the vehicle and execute this vehicle constructor as well as it will execute this car constructor too. But because this vehicle constructor is accepting two different values, and we have not passed any values for this vehicle constructor, so it will not going to execute it. So that's the reason there is a warning here. So for that we will be using super. There is super keyword here in this, in that in object oriented programming. You can see it in another languages also. The super means, super itself means the most powerful. So super means go to the parent vehicle. This is parent vehicle which is super of this uh, subclass. So it can access the, okay, so all the values or all the, okay, the attributes, all the functions, all the construct, all the constructors of this vehicle class. So super, now I can access this vehicle class. So I will just pass two values to the constructor which I have got from the car after creating the car object to from the car constructor. So I will just write the same value here, wheel comma speed. So what value I got here, wheel will again be passed to the main vehicle class, and same what speed will be passed to the vehicle class speed. Now we have created this whole subclass and its constructor, and now we will just print the brand name in this car. For whatever, whenever the car object will be created, the constructor will be executed automatically. So we can write here, like for example, the car, the car, okay, this is a dollar brand car. Okay, so it will print this is a brand car. That means if I write some brand name here, BMW or Audi or Tesla, it will print this is a Tesla car. Now let's see also, like, let's run the program and see what happens. For now let's remove this. Okay, now for example, for creating a car object, right, for individual car, so we have to again replace this by writing the car class. So we have created a car class, so we have to write car keyword here, then followed by object created. So car equal to new car. Okay, so we created a car object here. Now we have to just write. So here is a warning sign, which means we have to pass some values. That is, the car constructor accepts three values: brand name, where wheel number of wheels, and what is the speed. So brand name I have to give this Tesla, comma I have to give this four wheels, and I have to give the car speed of 150 kilometer per hour. So 150, I just wrote 150. Then now my car object is created. Now I have to just, okay, run the program and see what happens. Okay, this is a Tesla car. So the Tesla all the values from in the car constructor was passed to this constructor, and it printed this dot brand car. This is a Tesla car. Okay, the constructor is executed automatically, but now we understood how the super works. Super work keyword works. It can be used to access all the values from the main class, the parent class. So yeah, so now we understood how to assign values or change the attribute values. Now how to access the function of this parent class. So we understood how to access the function of the parent class by writing this car dot. Okay, so you can see here I wrote car dot show data, which means I just call this car belongs to this car class. But when I wrote dot show data, it actually accepted the value, like it allowed me. It didn't give any warning because I just written a super. Or also we have this vehicle extended vehicle class, so it can access the all the function and attributes from the super class, that is vehicle class. Okay, so vehicle, so car dot show data, so it is accessing this show data from there. So let's run the program and see. Okay, so this is a Tesla car, has four wheels and its speed is 150 kilometer. So yeah, so we can also access the values that from this car class just by writing dot show data, and we can access this function from the vehicle class, the main class, the parent class. Okay, so we can do that. And what if we have, there is one more concept in class and object in that language, and in different language also we have this function override, overriding a function. Now what is overriding a function in these languages? It means that once we created some function here, okay, so we created here void show data, we already created this function, and I want to show more data. So I can't just write show data and keep on writing different statements to print or different statement to show. So I can use this statement, this function again, by just adding some more lines to it. So I don't have to write this whole sentence or different this whole task or this function again. So let's see how it works. For overriding a function, we just have to mention the same, okay, the same function name, that is void show data. So I just written the same function name void show data, and I just have to write print some different values. Okay, so print, I have to write some print some different value. For example, this is a car class, and okay, this is a car class. Okay, for now this is a car class. Okay, so let's print. This is a Tesla car, and this is the car class here. So what you can see that when I just run the program, car object created. So the constructor here in the car class printed this is a brand car, that is this is a Tesla car. When I just return the car dot show data, that is it printed this is a car class. So it actually executed this function instead of executing this function. That means it executed the subclass function because it was accessible by this car at the first. So what if I want this functions data too? This functions data too. I don't want to write the whole statement again in this function, and I just want to reuse that code. So for reusing that code, that's the reason we use override in these programming languages. So for overriding that, we use the same, okay, say function name written here show data. Now we will use super key. Super key, that's the reason we super key is to access all the function attributes from the parent class. So we will use super here. This is a car class, so super dot show data. What it does that first we just when we will just call the function here show data using car dot show data, it will call this function and it will execute some statement also, plus the statement I wanted from the parent class too. So super dot show data, it again calls super dot class. It is super, that means vehicle class, the main base class, the parent class, and it's show data. It is executing this show data by this super dot show data statement. So let's see what happens if we run the program. Okay, now it printed this is a Tesla car. So when the constructor is created, this is a car class. When the show data is executed, so it printed this statement, and then also it printed it has four wheels and its speed is 150 kilometer per hour, that is due to this super dot show data. So we have just overridden the function we had to avoid the again and again writing the functions statements for different, you can say different vehicles such as car, bike, anything. So we can use only same function again and again in different types of cars, types of vehicle, and just by adding some new statement to it, like I added this one statement here. So we can it increases easy, it makes us easy for write the program, because it is called as reusability of code, where we can write one code and we can use it again and again in another programs, right? So this was a simple class and object in Dart language. So I hope you understood all the concept of class and object. This was a fundamental basic concept of class and object. And if you want to go deep into it, you can go to the dart.dev web page, and you can find different examples and some tough examples, some higher level examples to understand it better. So thank you for watching this video.